What's up guys, John here from the Killer Bits, back with another daily grind, and of course the whole of the news today is dominated by what happened last night, the Game Awards. So obviously I'm going to dive into that straight away. I am going to have my coffee though first. Damn, that's hot. Anyway, yes, the Game Awards last night, 2015 Game Awards. Jeff Keighley once again putting his neck on the block financially and critically, and my first impressions, obviously I didn't stay up and watch it because it was like 2 AM till 4 AM last night for us here in the UK, so I wasn't going to stay up for that, but yes, it went out. I watched the VOD this morning and combed through it all, and I think it was a pretty slick show. There were a few cock-ups. I mean, admittedly the recording I watched was as laggy as hell, you know. I don't know whether that was just transferring to YouTube or if it was just a really bad transmission. If you watched it live, do let me know in the chat or in comments if you're watching the VOD of this. How was the actual broadcast? But yeah, let's get into this. I'm going to run through all the winners and losers. Sorry for knocking the camera there. So, who was first? All right, okay. Well, I'm not going to do the whole reverse order thing. I'm going to go straight in at the top. And Game of the Year went to Witcher 3. And they actually picked up a couple of big awards. So was it 2 or 3 in the end? But it got Game of the Year. It got Developer of the Year for CD Projekt Red. What else have we got? Yep, Rocket League picked up Indie of the Year. Also picked up, what was it? Best Sports or Racing Game. So as I've said before, I've said it a couple of times on here, that Rocket League is probably actually in my list for Indie of the Year and potentially Game of the Year as well. So yeah, I am happy for the guys at Psychonauts for managing that. Lara Croft Go went and won Best Mobile title. Now, this was probably the best news from the whole event. Best Narrative went to Her Story, and also what's her name? Viva Seifert picked up Best Performance as well, wasn't it? Yeah, Best Performance, and there she is collecting the award. I think that was the award for Best Narrative, but I think that was kind of the highlight of the show for me, was that. It was also the funniest moment in the show when she was picking up her award for Best Performance. Who was it that they wheeled out to give the award, managed to screw up announcing the winner? It was Viva Seifert from Witcher 3. It was the guy behind her from the CD Projekt Red team goes, hang on a second, what? It was a very, very funny moment. That was probably the biggest cock-up of the show, but it was the most funny moment. Moving on, I'm going to just rattle through these because I've got to get going, because this is going to be a quite short one today. But if there is anything you want me to talk about in particular, as I said, if you're in chat, do let me know. Ori and the Blind Forest picked up, what was it, Best Art Direction, and it is a fucking gorgeous game, so yes, you can appreciate that. Life is Strange picked up, what was it, Games for Change Award, which is it was one of these strange categories for, you know, most impact socially aware type deal. I don't know whether that was one of the fan voted ones or if that was one of the judges panel. What else we got? Metal Gear. Yeah, this is where the controversy starts coming in. Metal Gear picked up Best Soundtrack, well, Best Score Soundtrack, and also Best Action Adventure Game. So that was kind of the big other title, because I mean a lot of the AAAs were in the big Best Action Adventure Game category. But I'll get on to the controversy. I'm just going to rattle through all the winners first. Mortal Kombat X, or Mortal Kombat 10, whatever you want to call it, picked up Best Fighting. Mario Maker was Best Family Game, and I think, what was it? Yeah, Ninty also picked up Best Multiplayer for Splatoon. Most anticipated of the show was No Man's Sky, which is no surprise. Obviously, the Game Awards have been kind of backing No Man's Sky for a while now. I think they got the big 10-minute exclusive footage for the first time round with No Man's Sky kind of broke cover, and we first saw it and saw how pretty it was going to be. So that, yeah, that's still getting kind of most anticipated title. and it is fairly anticipated. I can't remember what else was on the list for that, but yes, that's probably is the most anticipated title of next year. Game Over Greggy, yeah, this was kind of a surprise because this was one of the fan voted ones. Greg Miller picked up Trending Gamer Award. Now he was up against people like Total Biscuit, Markiplier, PewDiePie, and this being a fan voted one. I was quite surprised about this because obviously Pewds or Markiplier, millions of subscribers, millions of fans out there, so if it was a popularity contest, you would have thought it would have been one of the ones with the biggest audience, but Game Over Greggy is kind of the most loved, both critically and kind of popularly as well. It's got a popular vote ever since going solo, going alone with the rest of the guys there. Yeah, I can see the reasoning behind this, and his kind of acceptance speech was kind of one of the most heartfelt. He was going on about how he's thanking his girlfriend for allowing them to use the house as a production office, and how he thanked his parents for allowing him to go into games during this. So that was kind of the most heartfelt acceptance speech. I mean, the speeches and that were a little candid. It didn't have the glitz and glamour as other award ceremonies. They've always pitched the Game Awards as kind of the game industry's version of the Oscars or something like that. There was a lot of polish to the show, and there was some elements of glitz and glamour. As I said, I think the only one that really got dressed up was with the actors and things like that. When Troy Baker was presenting an award, and Viva Seifert and all that, they were the ones that glammed up. Some of the developers literally were just in jeans and t-shirts. So yeah, it's not black tie event, but yeah, Game Over. Greg Miller picking up Trending Gamer Award. What else did we have? I think this was another one of the fan voted categories. Best fan creation went to Portal Stories Mel, which I can see. We did like a vlog on this a while back when it came out, saying this was a fantastic mod. Real passion got into it. It's almost as good as the game, if not better. It's one of those breathing life into the games. You can see the passion of the fans creating this, and yes, I can fully back that decision as well. What else have we got? Into the esports category. There were like 3 in the esports category. Best gaming team was Optic. Then we also had Kenny Shrub picked up esports player of the year, and CS:GO was esports game of the year. They wheeled out Shaquille O'Neal onto stage, and he was pimping out Shaq Fu too, but he also presented the award to the winners of the esports category, and also said about the kind of introduction of a new tournament as part of Turner Broadcasting. Let's wheel through it. I think they're setting up it with a prize draw, a prize fund of a couple million or something like that. So yeah, new eleague.com and all that. So yes, this is where maybe the TV studios, TV networks are starting to get behind the whole esports thing. So there you go, Optic winning esports team of the year, and as I said, Kenny Shrub picking up player of the year, CS:GO getting game of the year in the esports category. And can I click out this? Oh, there we go. What else did we have? Okay, getting into the show as a whole. Obviously, there was lots of kind of premieres and things like that, but the actual presentation and things like that. As I said, it was a pretty slick show. Some of the nicer points in the show, Reggie giving a nice kind of tribute to Iwata-san. Talking about him being both his mentor, his colleague, and his friend. And there were a few sniffles in the audience. You could tell that it was kind of heartfelt, and it was a nice kind of tribute to Satoru Iwata. And it is one of those things. Yeah, the industry is poorer for his loss, and that was a genuine thing. And Jeff Keighley made a big point of this was kind of a big disappointment for him not being able to have Iwata there, and it is a loss for the industry. So that was one of the nicer points during the show. One of the dumber points in the show, the Fuck Konami award for being a douche nozzle went to Konami again, as they refused to let Kojima pick up the award for Metal Gear, and they wheeled out Kiefer onto stage. But the good point was, they did all the award presentation, then they cut back to Jeff Keighley, and he goes, basically, Konami's lawyers got involved and banned Kojima from turning up. So once again, fuck Konami. I'm not worried about them blacklisting me because, well, I don't play mobile games or pachinko machines, so they don't really have anything else to offer now, do they? So fuck Konami. But yeah, that was the kind of, if the screw up on the announcement for best performance was funny, this was just hilarious because it's fucking Konami. Yeah, so that was kind of the biggest point of the evening was, yeah, Metal Gear wins 2 awards, one of the best games of the year and all that kind of thing, and they don't even let the creator turn up because it's fucking Konami. Yeah, I mean, what was it, the night before it was the Japanese Game Awards, and they literally had one of the press PR people go and pick up the award for Metal Gear at I don't think anybody knows what the hell's going through the heads of the managing directors of Konami at the moment, because that was just fucking dumb. Obviously another big point of the kind of the Games Awards is the premieres they do. They do their kind of premiere spots and all that kind of thing. I reported about this about a week ago, saying that one of the ones they were going to announce was show off was Far Cry Primal. They did show more gameplay footage. Obviously, a lot of people were wondering how it was going to work, because obviously a big point of Far Cry games is the gunplay, and you can't really have that in prehistoric times. So what you got instead, you have got spears and melee attacks, knife attacks and things like that, but you also command the beasts. You basically can get the animals to do your bidding. I mean, you could do that bit in previous Far Cries by just throwing bait, but now apparently you command the animals, and you can basically go, oi, boy, sick him, and send saber-toothed tigers and wolves and bears to go and attack your enemies. And then basically you have a little buddy with you that's taking down enemies for you, and it's basically involving whistling and pointing at bad guys. So yeah, that was kind of one of the bigger kind of premiere reveal type thing. It wasn't quite a reveal because we knew it was coming, but that wasn't a surprise. But there we go, we had some more Far Cry footage. What else was there? There was a few of the odds and sods. They did team up with Unity, and they did kind of these little sneak peeks at documentaries of different developers around the world using Unity, and saying go link to the site and that. The games look good. I had seen Vane before, and I thought that looked fucking gorgeous. But what else did we have? Oh yeah, there was footage from Uncharted. Obviously, it is a lot in the news at the moment. We had the multiplayer drop day before, but they showed off a new character for Uncharted 4, which basically kicked Nathan Drake's ass. Things get ridiculous when we've got more Kung Fury. Well, obviously when the feature film, the half-an-hour film, came out on YouTube, there was the appearance of the free game. I think it was free. Pretty sure it was free on Steam, which was kind of like an arcadey brawler, but it was a bit more kind of one-finger death punch, where you just had to rhythm attack type thing of get the enemies in order. Well, now there's a kind of almost co-op version where they've introduced other characters from the film, and there's boss battles and things like that. So yeah, if you liked that, I don't know whether this is going to be free as well, if it's just like an update to it, but yeah, more Kung Fury. I thought that the film was fantastic as kind of a low budget filmmaking. I love low budget filmmaking and seeing creativity like that. So, but this is, yeah, this is a nod to all that. This was a more unusual one. This was it Dimble Games? One of the developers on Gone Home, working on a new project called Where the Water Turns to Wine, which is there you go, Dimble Games. I think what I read on the kind of press kit type thing. It's set in a century, and you basically go around America. It's very much based on folk tales and folk music. Folk music was a big part of the trailer, playing in the background. It's got this really nice art style. It's almost like oil paintings, and it looks really good. I don't really know what the game's all about. From those few screenshots, you just see this like 3D overworld, and you're a walking skeleton going from town to town. You know, St. Louis and things like that. But it seems to be, you go explore, you collect stories, maybe, and yeah, this was kind of a fairly abstract trailer. But there you go, where water tastes like wine, turns to wine, whatever. Coming soon. I think that's another one of these, no specific date. But that was probably this year's equivalent to No Man's Sky, the strange little indie out of nowhere nobody really knew anything about. What else did we have? Yes. Now, there was the reveal of a new Telltale game. They showed off Walking Dead Mission, which everyone was expecting. We've known about for a while. But we also had this appear, and obviously I was a little spoiled because I watched the VOD and it was just coming through the videos. I saw this as because it was titled and that, but I think it was only a few days ago, last week maybe, we were talking about Telltale on the show and saying, well, what are the Telltale games, what are the franchises could they team up with? And I joked about there being some crossover maybe with Marvel comics and things like that, and something like Jessica Jones because of the whole detective thing. Well, no, they've gone with DC, and they've gone with the Batman. Yes, so there might be that detective element because obviously Batman, world's greatest detective. So yes, we're getting a Batman Telltale game. So once again, Telltale doing their crossover with these big franchises, big IPs, and all that. What else did we have? Yes. This was a surprise, but it's something people have wanted for a while. The announcement of a Psychonauts 2. This was revealed at the Game Awards, and has subsequently started its Kickstarter campaign. Well, it's not Kickstarter, in fact. It's a new crowdfunding site called Fig, which if you actually look into, one of the board of advisors happens to be Tim Schaffer. It's actually pitched as one of these crowdfunding sites that actually allows you to gain profits from it. It's actually kind of more of an investor side in that, but it's geared towards game development. And as I say, Tim Schaffer is one on the board of advisors. I think you've got In Exile and Obsidian, and a lot of kind of the bigger indie studios are involved. So whether they're also taking a cut from the revenue you actually the actual site generates, I don't know. But yes, as Tim says in the trailer, it's one of those that lots of people have been asking for a Psychonauts 2 for a while, constantly tweeting him about it. And yes, Psychonauts 2 headed soon, and the current campaign, let me refresh the page. So they're asking for 3.3 million, and as of the moment, refresh, they are at $956,485 raised, and with 34 days to go. So it's basically over a quarter of the way done in less than 24 hours. So it's going to be like Broken Age and things like that. It's a guaranteed seller. It's going to hit its targets. What its stretch goals are, I don't know. Has it actually got anything about stretch goals on here? No, there's nothing I can see. No, nothing initially I can see about stretch goals, but you know it's going to potentially rocket up to like 5-6 million at this rate anyway. So there you go. If you were a fan of the original Psychonauts and want more Psychonauts 2, there is now the campaign to actually get a Psychonauts 2. The way they're divvying it up, I think it looks like it's like half is crowdfunding, a quarter is Double Fine themselves, and then what's it? They've said they've got another investment partner working with them. So yes, Psychonauts 2. What else was there? The kind of the Industry Icon Award. This was one that normally comes out a few days beforehand because it's one of those, you know, Lifetime Achievement Award type deals. But I never actually looked into it. I never knew anything about this. But so it was a surprise when Westwood Studios was announced as the kind of Industry Icon Award. It's the guys, what was it? Brett Sperry and Louis Castle, founders of the Westwood Studios, most notably known for Command & Conquer series, also did Tune 2 and that. And the Industry Icon Award kind of made a point that without these guys, without Westwood Studios, we would never have had the real-time strategy genre. They were kind of solely responsible for real-time strategy, and because prior to that it was all turn-based stuff, and with the onset of the kind of increase in technology with CDs and things like that, allowed them to do this kind of idea of real-time strategy, you against somebody else, you against the computer, and that working in tandem. And they said in this kind of piece about it, what Westwood was doing led into what Blizz did with Warcraft, and also if these guys hadn't have started the kind of real-time strategy genre, there wouldn't have been the MOBA. There wouldn't have been MOBAs with, you know, you wouldn't have had League or Dota or anything like that without these guys kind of stepping up, creating the genres and creating that world that people can actually create this these kind of competitive real-time matches. So yeah, that was probably another highlight of the show, was the news about Westwood getting the Industry Icon Award, the Lifetime Achievement, as it were. So yeah, that was the awards in a nutshell. I mean, what did you guys think? So I presume you've potentially seen some of the videos, probably watched some of the trailers that came from the show and that. I thought it was a fairly slick show, as I said. There weren't too many goofs. One of the niggly things was every time they kept cutting back to iJustine in the green room. Obviously, they had the sponsor of, what was it, Go90 was kind of their corporate sponsor. They had the bumpers in between, but they kept switching back to the green room with everyone playing Battlefront. Go to AMD's site and look at everyone playing at Battlefront type. That was annoying. That was probably one of the worst parts of the show. But at least we didn't have anybody yelling potato in the audience or anything like that. But as a show, I thought it was fairly slick, nicely put together. Jeff Keighley's done a decent job, and I think the Game Awards are here to stay now. It is kind of great, gaining credibility, gaining ground, and yeah, it might be nice if there was the spit and polish is there in the production. It might be nice if some of the devs actually dress up for the occasion. As I said, there was a lot of jeans and t-shirts in the audience. They also banged on about the weight of the actual trophy. Go, it's heavy, plunk. So yeah, that was really good. Yeah, that's pretty much what the news is today. There isn't a lot of other stuff going on because that kind of dominated the announcements, the award winners and things like that. Let me just do a refresh, see if there's anything new. It's going on about Far Cry Primal's collector's editions. Of course there's going to be Ubisoft selling the collector's editions before the game's even out and that. Shadow Complex was also one of the announcements, game premieres of, Shadow Complex Remastered was coming back. As I said, we saw some Shaq Fu stuff. A new Goat Simulator DLC was right at the top of the show. Well, it was even pre-show. It was in the warm-up stuff. What else? Oh yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider showed off its DLC. What was it? The Baba Yaga DLC, which looks like it's a bit more kind of the Far Cry 3 drug-fueled element of it all. Lara going off in search of Baba Yaga, and we've got the kind of legends of the treehouse on a crow's foot and all that. And lots of creepy skeleton heads rolling around in that. So that would look like quite a cool trailer, and whether the actual DLC is any good, obviously, I don't know. Until it turns up on PC, that's when I'm going to get Rise of the Tomb Raider. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As I say, the biggest point of the show for me was the whole fuck Konami of, them not letting Kojima turn up to pick up the award. Yeah, that was ridiculous and oh so Konami. But what do you expect from them now? But yeah, as I said, a fairly quick show today because I've literally got to disappear off in like 5 minutes time. So I'm going to do the quick wrap up. There wasn't any videos out on the channel last night, so if you want to see something, go across and watch all the previous episodes of the Daily Grind. Do let me know how you think the show's been going on. As I said, kind of today and the weekend is when I decide whether I continue with it, because obviously there's a lot of prep time involved trying to get this sorted, and I need to get your feedback on whether you actually think it's working as a format. I've been doing this now for 4 weeks, so it's kind of a good sample. I've got an idea of what kind of viewing figures it gets out on the channel, but more often than not I can't actually monetize it because it's got Nintendo footage in, and we all know what that happens with that. So yeah, I've got to kind of get a feel from you guys whether you want the show to stick around. So do let me know in the comments below of the video whether you want to see more Daily Grind, and whether the time slot is working for you guys, and what you think of the show, what I can do different. You let me know. This is supposed to be the interactive show, so that's why it's out on Twitch at the moment, so you can get in touch with me. If it does stick around, do you want it at the kind of 3:30 slot, 10:30 in the morning for Eastern, or do you want it later? The only reason I've not done it later is because I don't want it to really kind of clash with the content we have go out on the YouTube channel in the evening. So do let me know. Let me know what you guys think, whether you want the show to stick around or not, whether you want it to change, what. Do let me know. As I said, the YouTube channel, if you're here on Twitch, you can visit us, youtube.com/thekillerbits, where you can see all our content, all the kind of first impressions, let's plays, stuff like that. This evening, you're going to have another Hot Set episode, Heroes of the Storm episode from Fran, as usual. Also, this weekend, she is playing... well, it's that kind of highlights reel from the first couple of hours of Just Cause 3. She was playing that with Aaron, so yeah, do check that out Saturday evening. And then on Sunday, I think it's another co-op video. I think we're probably defusing bombs again. I don't know, I've got to check the footage. What have we got left? So yeah, if you want to see more videos from us, come across to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get in touch, you can do on Twitter @thekillerbits, or on Facebook at facebook.com/thekillerbits. And if you want to support the show, if you like what we do and you want to help us continue creating content like this, the best thing you can do is obviously like the videos and share, subscribe and all that kind of thing. But if you want to go above and beyond and actually maybe give us a little donation, a little pledge, you can go to Patreon at patreon.com/thekillerbits, where you can pledge $1. You get kind of exclusive access to the little forum thing we've got there. You'll see some behind the scenes stuff, the outtakes from the videos. You'll get to see the YouTube's videos a week ahead of everyone else. We're a little bit behind with that. That's purely because my laptop is kind of on its last legs, so I've been treating it with kid gloves at the moment to actually see if it will be able to handle doing a longer format video. But yeah, do check us out on YouTube, and if there is anything, let us know in the comments or on Twitter. I'm always on there. So alright, until maybe next week, we'll have to see whether you guys want me back or not. I will see you anon. Bye guys.